Alright, let's remove the air box. So go and disconnect this MAF sensor. Push it off to the side. Remove the silicone coupler. You probably want to go and disconnect it from here, the intake pipe. Alright, pull this apart. Now, this should just pop out. Loose. Alright, now disconnect the negative from the battery. I'm using a 1/2 inch, but it's actually a 13. It doesn't touch anything metal. Go ahead and disconnect the positive now. It's 10mm. Now, this cable right here is actually snapped in to this panel right here. So just go and pull this out. Pulling this out for the first time will probably be real hard. You may have to try to pry it out. You can try prying it out with a screwdriver, but you may mar up the plastic a little bit. So maybe pry it out with something plastic or something like that, so it doesn't damage it. Alright. Try to just take that away a little bit. Now, let's pop this out. Now we can go and remove the brace. It's actually retains the battery, 10mm. I'd like to try to put away whatever bolts or nuts or anything like that. Well, not put them away, but try and like replace them wherever I took them out at, if it's possible, so I don't lose them or getting confused with you know, other things. Alright, so just pull the battery out a little bit. Now you have this sensor right here that you can go and pop loose. You may have to go and use a screwdriver to press in on the little tab and pull it out. Now remove the back cover. side. And then just pull the rest of the battery out. Right now, finally remove the battery box. 10 millimeter again. There's 3 bolts. You got one here, here, and then in the rear. You probably can't see the 2 up front, but they're easy enough to see once you get the battery out. Alright, I forgot to mention the sound composer, the valve for it is actually connected to the side of this battery box. So probably before you pull the battery box out, you probably want to go and disconnect the cable from it. And then also there's going to be 2 hoses that will be connected going into it and then coming out of it. And basically the hose will just be ran from your intake manifold. It'll be ran through here, and the sound composer, the valve for it, will actually be right around this area right here. And then you'll have a hose that runs from that and goes back behind the engine. So you'll probably want to pull both of those hoses, just remove them out of the engine bay, and then yeah, just disconnect the valve, and then pull the battery box out. Alright, so now the driver's side mount is exposed, but we're not actually going to go and take this off yet because we don't have anything supporting the engine. We're just trying to get most of the top side parts and components removed. So now we're going to go and take the cowl off, the windshield wipers, and then once we get the cowl off, we'll be able to access the intake pipe much easier. So let's go and get this cowl off. Right here, to get the tacks out, normally I just use a trim tool, kind of like this. The forked head is pretty cool, it really helps out. So just get those loose. Pull the top portion up first, and then finally you can go and pull the bottom portion out. These screws right here, like I said, it's T30, but I have a flathead screwdriver that I just go and use to remove them. Alright, now to remove the windshield wipers. So remove this little rubber boot, and then use a 15 millimeter socket. We'll go and hold the windshield wiper so it doesn't move or anything while you're going and listening to this. Alright, now for the fun part. If you haven't taken these windshield wipers off before, they're very difficult to go and take off. So let's go and pull this one. We'll try and pull it out a little bit, and you can try to wiggle it like that. I've already taken mine apart a bunch of different times, so it's already loose, but you may not have taken yours out, so it's kind of usually just stuck in there. You may want to try spraying some like Break Free or maybe a little bit of WD-40 or something like that right in here. Maybe trying to get it loosened up. But if you go and you pull this, and you can just try and jiggle it back and forth like this, Uh, it may take a few minutes to get it loose, but eventually it should come loose. Another method I've tried is to let it back down and just kind of jiggle it back and forth like that. But you're just gonna have to try and work it as much as possible. I did a buddy of mine's car not too long ago, and he's never removed his, and it took probably a good, I don't know, 5-10 minutes on each one to try and get it out. Another thing, just so you don't lose stuff, just try to go in place whatever you take off at the spot that you took it off at. Alright, now for a passenger side. Another thing, try not to remove these too much. When taking them off, you don't want to try and get the post desynchronized or anything like that. I got it loose. Alright, now to remove the top piece of the cowl. Kind of just snaps in here, so just pop it loose. There's that. Alright, now to remove the bottom piece of the cowl. 10mm socket. Set this right here. And this can just come right out. Going to re-thread this into here so I don't lose it. Alright, now on the back of the intake pipe there should be a hose right here. Just go and pull that off. Bend that down so nothing goes in the hose. Alright, now it's time to take the intake pipe off of the turbo. I've already removed the top clamp on the silicone coupler, so it should just kind of come right out. Alright, now this is kind of important. So you would go and take a plastic bag or something and put it over the silicone coupler. That way no dirt or anything like that can go inside. Alright, so there's a few little things we can do right here. And this, go and disconnect this. Pull that out. And then you can also pull it out on the side of the bracket that's on top of the motor mount. This thing comes in really handy. Pop that out. Just get it down and push it off to the side so it's out of the way. Alright, now the gear position sensor, go and pull that off. Next thing that I would probably recommend doing is taking these two cables off of this panel. Alright, so let's take this cable off. It'll be a 13. So you have that. I'm just going to go and cut it off to the side a little bit. And you have this one right here, which will be an 8. That one, I'm just going to go pull it back a little bit. I'll tuck it back here somewhere so it's up out of the way. This. Took that off to the side. Alright. Now go and pop these off. So it's kind of lift straight up on it. It should wiggle off. There. Alright, now we want to go and pull the whole shifter cable off of the transmission. There's just a little bracket that's on top of the transmission that actually goes and holds them in place. So the only thing you do is pull back on this sleeve right here, and then you should be able to just lift up, and it should just go right out like that. So go tuck it off, go back to the side. And then the lower one will be the same way. Just pull back ground cable off of the side of the bell housing. This right here will be a 13. Let's go ahead and move the shifter arm over. Damn, I really put down tight last time. Shit. Okay, now it's time to go and take the starter motor off. We're actually not going to like pull it completely out. We're just going to just demount it and just move it away from the flywheel about a couple inches the way it's out of the way. You can kind of see it. Right here, but it's actually mounted. You have a bracket that's on top of it, and then under this this bracket there's going to be another bolt head. So this is just a nut right here, and then underneath this is the actual bolt that's holding it onto the side of the engine. So to go and remove it, I'm just going to take the nuts off first, and then once I get those off, I'll just go and remove the bolts and then pull it away. Now you can see the bracket's off, and you just need to go and remove this bolt, and then also the bolt that's on the bottom side. It's 13 millimeters. Alright, so starter motor is disconnected. You see it right here. The only thing you're going to do is basically just pull it out away from the engine. I had to wiggle it a little bit because there's actually a seat that actually goes into a guide just to make sure everything's lined up properly. So you just pull it away just a little bit, and that's that. Alright, so now we're going to go and disconnect the clutch line from the slave cylinder. So what I would recommend doing is just getting like an old towel or something like that, putting it up underneath the car just in case if something dribbles down, and then just have like a paper towel or shop towel or something like that just directly underneath it, and that way when we go and disconnect it and pull it out, it'll try and catch some of it. This line right here goes into this section, and all that is held by is just this little pin that's right here. So just take a flathead screwdriver and just basically stick it in and pull it out. But when you're pulling it out, it may actually like fly off. So you probably want to go and like stick your thumb or something like that against it, just to go and prevent it from coming out too quickly. You definitely don't want to go and lose this thing. So pull it out. Now you just pull this out. Actually, you probably want to go and pull the whole line away from the little retaining device that's right here. And you should be able to pull it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it in a clean paper towel. And it's kind of too big of a bag. It'd probably be better to have like a sandwich bag or something like that. That over it. Twist tie. Tie it. And then we go and try to stick it somewhere where it's not going to be in the way. It's not going to move. Stick it right through here. Yeah. You definitely don't want it to be laying down and try and have it sticking up. That way you don't lose too much fluid from the actual line. Oh, and then another thing, take the pin and put it back in so you don't accidentally lose it. Alright, one of the feet of the engine support bar, you go in right around here. So you go and move this, just pull back on this little thing, and it should just pop right out basically. The other foot of the engine support bar can be going right around here. You probably can't see it in the video, but there's an eye hook on the back side. It'll be right back here where you can actually go and put the chain up to. You can actually hook it up on this side also, but I'm going to be hooking it up to this mainly more to just stabilize this whole bar. you're not actually really going to be supporting anything, because you have the passenger side mount right here. So we're going to be taking off the driver's side mount, and then the rear motor mount is also going to be removed. So the motor mount that we're going to have holding this whole engine up is this, and then this over here will be basically supporting this side of the engine, and this is mainly to support or stabilize the bar. We'll make sure the legs on this pulled as far to the passenger side as possible, because you really don't have a whole lot of the space to be setting the legs onto. So you can try to move this back, but then kind of the thing with that is you're not going to be able to hook up with this, and it's not really necessary to go and hook up to this. I would still recommend it, but as I said, like, all the weight is really going to be supported by this right here. So maybe slightly safer to just go and put it up here, but I've done it like this before, and it stayed there the whole time. It didn't move very much once I actually got everything fully tightened down. So trying to be careful with the chain putting too much pressure onto the cover. Alright, so everything on that looks pretty much good to me. Doesn't feel like it's going to be going anywhere. Alright, so I have it completely jacked up on both sides. I have the wheels chalked, and I have it lifted up probably, I don't know, I'd say about 14 inches maybe from the bottom of the skirt to the ground. So, and then I also have the jack up underneath the subframe, just as a added precaution. I'll be taking the wheels off here in a second, and then I'll actually be throwing the wheels up underneath the car too, just as a another safety measure. Alright, now we're going to take out the wheel well splash guard bunch of T30 Torx head screws, and I think it has a few those little snap things, or maybe not. Anyway, you have one here, here, here. I used to have one here, over here, and then I have mud flaps on, so you have to take those off. And then you have two up underneath, right here. So you're gonna go and take all these off, and then pull it out. Then we want to go and remove the brake line. Say 8mm. All it is one little bolt. We don't want to fully remove it. Just want to remove it from the side of the strut. Alright, next on the list of things to do, I actually have a JBR catch can right here. I'm going to remove that. And then I'm probably going to remove my front bumper again. When I'm pulling the transmission out, this will probably be in the way. That and the ECU that's right here will probably also be in the way. That's basically what I did when I removed my transmission the first time. So I'm gonna do it again. It's really not that hard to go and remove the front bumper. You can try removing it at first, or I mean, you can try, removing the transmission without removing the front bumper at first if you want to, and then if you have difficulties trying to pull it out, then you can try and remove it. But I'm just gonna be on the safe side and just remove it right now. Alright, so I'm going to begin taking the front bumper off. I'm going to pop one of these things out right here. What else? There's going to be two bolts. They're up in here. Alright, I'm going to go and remove these. Well, actually, you don't remove them. Just loosen them up. Maybe, I don't know, maybe about 5mm or so. But you don't pull them all the way out. Anyway, it's a 10mm socket. And you got another one over here. Now, I'm going to take the front splash guard off. So, you got these tacks again. Take these off. Hey look, a wrench. It's always awesome when you find tools underneath the car. What else? Oh, and then you got the T30 torque says right here. Alright, now I'm going to do basically the same thing on the passenger side. Just going to go take the wheel well splash guard out, and then do the 2 bolts that are up there, and then continue on from there. Alright, now I got the passenger side all disconnected, just like I did the driver's side. One thing I forgot, I want to go and remove your fog lights. And also do your other side. Alright, now there's a few more things we have to do on the top to remove the bumper. We got a few more tacks. And then there's actually this that needs to be removed. Just pop this out away. Just easily go and disconnect this. We have a screw here, and then also a screw on the other side that needs to come out. Use a flathead. Alright, now for the front bumper. Come on. Mine is probably going to come off decently easy, I think. But yours coming off for the first time, it may be slightly difficult to get it off. You may actually have to remove the headlight to get to one of the I don't even know what you want to call it, tongue that's right in here. It goes and snaps it into place, and you also have another one that's on this side. You can actually see it if you pull it this down. You see that it's snapped in. If you have something that you can push down on it, sometimes it'll pop out pretty easily. Sides out. And it's actually not pushing down. There's basically this right here, it sticks in, and then you have just a little clip that kind of goes over it on the back side of this. You go and you lift that clip up, it'll go and pop it out. now I'm gonna go and take the ECU off. It has 3 mounting points. Yeah, 3 mounting points. They're gonna be 8 millimeters. So you have one up here, one on the back side that you probably can't see, and then one right here. So you just take this one off first. My catch can is also attached to this. So you have to figure out when you do that, and then you just disconnect the whole thing. Or not disconnect the whole thing, but disconnect the 2 hoses that's hooked up to it. Now it should just basically drop down, and I can actually move it off to the side a little bit. You use a bungee cord to just wrap it around and secure it to something. So that's why I secured it to the front crash beam. Now I'm going to remove the intercooler piping. It's secured at 2 different locations. You got a location right here, and that is a 8 millimeter, and then you have a spot right here that's secured to, and that's 10 millimeter. So you'll want to remove those bolts, and then also remove the clamp that is clamped to the pipe on the turbo, and then also the elbow for the intercooler. So you would remove that and then pull the intercooler piping out, and then the only other thing that you would have to do underneath the car would be to remove the rear motor mount, but I don't have it installed right now. Alright, now we're going to drain the transmission fluid from the transmission. The drain is right here. It's going to be a 8 millimeter Allen. So, go and start draining this. I have a oil pan already underneath it, and then I have some my towel that I just use for cleaning oil and stuff like that up underneath that. So, oh, damn. So I'm just going to let that drain out. Alright, so now I'm going to go and remove the axle nut. You can go and use a 32 millimeter socket like this to go and remove it. Um, when you're removing it, you're gonna have to have someone basically apply the brakes, or if you think you can try and hold the rotor while you're trying to break it loose, then by all means try it. But I think I've actually done that before when I didn't have a buddy or anyone to go and apply the brakes, but I'm just gonna go get my buddy to do that. Alright, now it's time to separate the lower control arm from the knuckle. So to do that, you need a 18mm wrench for the nut that's on the back side back here, and then you're gonna need a T55 Torx bit for the actual bolt. And I don't know how there it is. Alright, now to actually separate the lower control arm from the knuckle. Basically, you're gonna need something like this, a crowbar or something like that, stick into this little slit that's right here, and just pry it down. Just spray a little bit of WD-40 in where the ball joint actually goes and meets the knuckle. Really wish I had a cap on this to make it a lot easier. And I wouldn't recommend doing a WD-40 on this either. It's probably best to use some sort of break-free. This easier on rubber. Alright, so it feels like it actually is wanting to come off now. So basically just go and like violently go up and down with it. I've tried going down with it real slow before, and it just usually doesn't seem like it wants to come off. I've had better luck just shaking it up and down basically. Another thing you want to pay attention to when you're actually removing this is you don't want to damage this boot. I actually damaged it the first time I did this because I was having some problems going and getting this thing off. You can probably see it. It's like right around here. It's actually damaged. But just be very, very careful with it. Alright, now it's time to actually go and push the axle out from the hub. So some people I've heard they will go and use this because they'll go and replace this with a new one, and you're supposed to go and replace it with a new one. basically there we go, and just thread this on, and then put like a piece of metal or something like that against it, and then just go and basically tap it out. I'm not even going to try to demonstrate that. I'm sure it probably won't mess up the threads, but just be on the safe side, I'm not even going to bother trying it. So I went out and bought a hub puller. Basically it's just kind of a wheel puller type design that goes and attaches to your hub. You can buy these or borrow them from auto parts stores. I went and bought this one, but I could have just borrowed it and so I'm just going to go and start pushing this in, or actually tightening it down, and what it's doing is it's actually going to just push this inwards. This is actually much easier doing this one for the second time than it was at first. The first time it's a little bit harder to push this through. Now it's almost ready to come out. So you be very careful that the boot on the CV joint on this axle doesn't get damaged or anything like that. That's all she wrote. Alright, now to pull the axle out of the actual transmission. Basically, just gonna go take a crowbar, wedge it in between the transmission and then the metal part of the half shaft. There we go. Alright, so half shaft is actually pulled from the transmission, so I'm just gonna go pull it out the rack. Just be very careful not to bend these joints too much, especially this one right here. Try and keep this thing straight as possible. Alright, if you look at the end of this, there's actually a clip right here that you can see. It's called a circlip. That's actually what goes and basically retains it into the transmission. Or actually, it seats itself into the differential that's within the transmission. So we're actually gonna have to remove this and replace another one onto it, brand new one. Alright, now let's take the bolt out on the passenger side for the little control arm. Now let's try to separate it. Now to remove the, I don't even really know what the technical word for it is, but you have a bearing here, so probably the bearing retaining bracket or something like that. Anyway, we need to remove this because we're going to be pulling this half shaft out of the transmission just a few inches. That's the reason why we separated the lower control arm from the knuckle. That way this whole thing can shift over freely. We actually have a little bit more room to push it over to the passenger side. A couple inches, just basically enough to get out of the transmission. So you have a nut here and then another nut on the top side. They're 13 millimeters, so pull the bracket off. And put the nuts back on. So I don't misplace them. Alright, now we can go pull the shaft on the transmission. What you want to do is just have something hooked up to it, like a bungee cord. That way it doesn't fall down, because all we're going to be doing is just basically pulling it out to, just basically far enough that it clears the transmission. It's actually out of the transmission, so you don't have to go any further than that. So I'm going to hook it up to my downpipe mounting bracket. Again, I did that the first time and it turned out alright, so I'm going to do it again this time. Alright, so I'm just going to go and try and pull it out. It should come out kind of easily. It may seem like it's stuck in the bearing part up here, so you may want to try and break that free. Hold on, I can't get a hammer. Actually seems like the back part of the bearing slightly rusted. It just basically seems like this part is rusted onto this part, so I don't actually want to hit the bearing, but that should be good. Alright, just real quick, I'm about to start taking the driver's side motor mount off, or transmission mount off, and I went and put a jack underneath the oil pan, and I just have some pieces of wood just wedged in between the jack and the oil pan. You see at the near the back side, I don't have it extending too much because we still have to work around these bolts and stuff like that. This is just the length of boards that I had, so I just have this here basically just as a added security or safety measure. So alright, so now we're about to take the driver's side transmission mount off. I've already checked the engine support bar, make sure everything's tight, the feet are not gonna go anywhere, they're secure. We have the jack in place underneath the oil pan. I don't actually have it like really jacked up. I just have just a little bit of pressure up against it. I don't want to have any of the actual load really up on the oil pan. I want almost all the load on the engine support bar. So I'm just gonna go and start taking this apart. And once this comes down, or once I take this bolt out, the whole engine and transmission at this point will be supported by that bar. Try and watch everything as I'm doing this. Make sure it doesn't look like anything is about to happen, break, or anything like that. Now I can remove these. Say 15 millimeter. Now pull this off. Removing these 15 millimeter. I'm just removing the transmission bracket portion, just that way I have a little bit more clearance of moving the transmission around when we're actually trying to pull everything out. Alright, before we actually start hooking the transmission jack up, let's take some bolts out. Take out this one, this one, this one, and if you look, there's this one that has the bolt hole right beside it. Leave that one in, don't take it out. And if you look, there's one right here directly above it. You can take that one out. And then you can take all the top ones out. So you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 on the top. You can take those out. Right, the 3 remaining bolts that you'll have to undo will be this one right here, and then we're not going to undo this one yet. We're just going to keep it right there until we get the jack all situated. You can remove the one directly above it right here, so keep that one there for now. Alright, now I'm about to start hooking the transmission jack up. If you see, I have a block of wood in here. The reason why is, as you can see, the engine, or not the engine, but the transmission, it just kind of looks like it's tilted on this side, on the front side. So I just put a block of wood in there. I'm going to take the strap and go around the whole thing, and then you have the ratchet right there for it. You want to bring the strap up just basically right across the 2 halves of the transmission, right where the transmission bolts to the bill housing. So, and then you want to come back behind the shifter arm. Alright, so I got her strapped down now. I'll have it extremely tight. I mean, there's still a little bit of slack, but it is pretty snug. You can see it's not going up against the slave cylinder. It's basically going right between the shifter post and the slave cylinder. Alright, now it's time to drop the transmission. I had the 2 final bolts pulled, so I should just be able to pull it out and then drop it down some. Things you want to be careful for when you're pulling it is your input shaft is in your clutch disc right now, and then when you pull it out, you still have to clear the pressure plate and the fingers of the pressure plate. So you still have to pull it out. Probably, I don't know, probably about that much or so. I may have to play with it a little bit. I may have to loosen this up a little bit to position to rotate it basically, or tilt it this way a little bit. That way I can clear the frame. I don't really have a trick to do it. I just go and do it. So here we go. Actually, I still have one more bolt left in here. Guess I got sidetracked. let's try this again. You also gotta remember, there's like on either side of the transmission, there's two guides that actually go into the side of the engine. So it may feel like it's stuck on something or something like that, but it's still just popped into those guides. So I'm going to drop it down just a hair. I think I'm going to let the engine down just a little bit. Now it's actually hitting the back of the subframe a little bit back here, so you had to push it forward. Be careful when you're dropping it and you're watching everything. It's not hitting anything. Your slave cylinder isn't going to hit anything. Things like that. At this point, I'm going to probably try. Well, I should be able to wheel it out. You may have to just go and remove it from the jack right here, and then just like use your legs or something like that to go and support it as you're dropping it down the remaining 4 or 5 inches or so. But I may actually be able to wheel it out. Block. There. Start coming out. Oh, there we go. I can't believe some people actually told me that I should be able to go and bench press this thing. Basically, not even need a jack. Just go and take it off while I'm directly underneath it, and just basically bench press it. Like, basically hold it up with your arms. This thing, sure I could bench press it, but like, it's not something I want to be holding there, in an awkward position like that for more than a few seconds.